friends, welcome to the singing studio. Today is a review episode for episode 16 to 19, so I hope you enjoy it. Hey you guys, and welcome back to the singing studio. Today we are going to continue our adventure with strengthening our voice by strengthening our breath support. I'm really excited about today's video because we are going to be talking about different voice styles. So why do I focus on breathing so much? Well, first off, breathing helps us relax. Just in general, if you've ever taken yoga or any sort of dance class, and even other forms of exercise, they focus a lot on breathing. Breathing puts oxygen, obviously, into our bodies and our brain. We don't want tense muscles. We don't want our voice to be stuck or really tight and straining. Today I'm going to specifically talk about vocal breath onsets. I'm going to demonstrate what these different onsets sound like, but our main goal through it all is to have a nice, even, and consistent sound. So we don't want to have too much breath, but we also want to have enough breath. We don't want to be short of breath. So if we have too much breath, this is what it might sound like. Do you hear how it's a lot of breath and it's not really even? This is what it sounds like if I don't have enough breath. Oftentimes this is called a glottal. We are going to make sure that the muscles in our face are nice and relaxed. My big face. And this is my small face. And back to big face. And this is my small face. This exercise, like I said, I love it. It reminds me to have that good breath support. One thing to keep in mind is we are jumping an octave, so we're going from one note all the way up to the same note, but just an octave higher. And sometimes that can be a little bit intimidating for our voice to go, because sometimes we're going to be jumping from our lower register to our upper register, and so that can be a little tricky. Just make sure that as you are jumping, that you think of that fountain analogy that I use sometimes, that's nice and open, nice and forward, and just it's flowing out. So basically, I'm going to be doing 3 different variations of these breath onsets. So the first one will be breathy, the second one will be that glottal, and then the third one will be just right. So, yes, really fun exercise. This one definitely takes a lot more time because we are just focused purely on those onsets. And obviously, like I've explained in, earlier in this video, it's our goal to have that third example where it's nice and even. So basically, we don't want to have too breathy of a sound, and we don't want to really punch it. We are talking about how to find our voice and everything that goes along with that. Feeling confident in our voice, loving our voice. Yeah, so finding our voice. I have a few tips for you today that I hope you enjoy. As you implement these tips, I can promise you that you'll feel a greater appreciation for your voice, and you'll be excited to strengthen your voice more and to do more fun exercises. So, just to recap those tips. 1, Choose different styles of songs, ones that you love and ones that are challenging. 2, don't copycat people on the radio or your peers. 3, listen to recordings of your voice. 4, sing spontaneously in the shower, in the car, karaoke, sing spontaneously. And finally, practice every day. So you're probably wondering, what does that mean, voice styles? I thought I just had one voice. But yes, our voice is capable of many different styles of singing. So today we are going to kind of break down the voice and hear different examples of these different styles. Our voice has a lot of layers to it, and if we just learn about these different parts of our voice, then we will be able to pull it out of our pocket and be like, yeah, I can sing that in a classical way, or, oh, I can sing that in a contemporary way. So I'm really excited. We're gonna jump right in. So, chest voice, lower register, head voice, upper register. Here is an example of chest voice. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Here is an example of head voice. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Next, we have something called our mix voice and our legit voice, okay? So a mixy voice is essentially a mixture of our head voice and our chest voice. And a lot of times when we use our mixed voice, it's most often done in that bridge where we are sort of trying to smooth out between that chest and head. On the other hand, we have our legit voice. Our legit voice is also, can also be a mixture. However, it's definitely more in that upper register, in our head voice. So a legit type of singing is a lot more classical sounding. You can think of belt as a healthy projection of our chest voice going into our head voice. So it's almost like we're extending that chest voice over the bridge into our upper register, and we're using good breath support and a nice projection. Obviously, all these styles that we're talking about we'll definitely go over in more detail in future episodes, but I did just want to touch on that because I know that a lot of us have heard that phrase of belting. Here is an example of mixed voice. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Here is an example of legit voice. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I will, in the future, do another video a little bit about belt and how to do it healthily, because it's really, really important that our voice comes first, our vocal health comes first, and if we belt incorrectly, we will run into a lot of issues. So, that is belt. Here is an example of belt. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. The reason I wanted to touch on these styles is because when we can utilize all of these styles, there's so many things that we can do with different songs. We can utilize these different techniques to express certain phrases or to show certain emotion in our songs. And I think that when we practice really hard and when we learn about these things, we're just adding more tools to our vocal tool belt to use when we are singing. And I look forward to digging deeper into some of these styles in future episodes, so stay tuned for that. And that is all for our video today. Be sure to like it, and I'll see you in our next episode. I do these videos every other week, but if you still want more musical theater, check out my newsletter. It's called Beyond the Score, and it just takes a closer look at musical theater history. You can find that at jskstories.com.